Hey everyone, I'm Robert Cosper. Thought it'd be fun to do a video for the discussion, so here we go. So my initial thoughts about uh, Elric's and Simon's theories was that basically they were polar opposites. One of them felt that population rise was going to lead to famine, disease, resource depletion. And Simon believed that technology would allow mankind to basically overcome the those three things. I liked what Charles C. Mann spoke about in the TED Talk. Specifically, he stated that most of the political activity in this sphere has been wizards and prophets fighting with each other, protesting each other rather than recognizing that they're fundamentally on the same side. Basically, that's what came to mind when I first thought about both Simon's and Eric's theory, is that they're basically on the same side, but they just have different opinions, and a lot of us are that way, where we don't really want to work together, but if we did, we would be able to do a lot more, I think. I did feel like I identified more with Elric, and that's just because I liked what Thomas Malthus had said in his essay on Principle of Population. Said power of population is indefinitely greater than the power in the earth to produce subsistence for man. To me, that just basically means that everything on the earth is finite, and that we're not going to just be able to magically be able to overcome food shortages or famine, or wars, things like that. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be like the textbook said. It's a wicked problem, which just means that it's infinitely difficult to solve. In regards to the next question, is the debate still relevant today? I think it definitely is. You still hear about people saying that there's plenty of oil. You can just see by the market how well we're doing with oil and metals, foods, and all these different resources that are just actually really limited. I liked the quote from Betting on the Apocalypse. Said that Mr. Simon liked to argue that new problems prompt solutions that ultimately leave people better off than before, but we cannot surmount our challenges if we simply deny that they exist. And I feel like a lot of people still do that. They look at agriculture and all the technology that we have and how we're able to produce so much food, but still ignore the fact that there is a shortage on food, and that there still are people going day to day starving. My thoughts on tech and if it will solve our problems is goes back more or less to just being a wicked problem. I think it's just going to maybe help delay different things from happening, like diseases or famines. but it made me think of Richard Nelson and his metaphor about the moon. He said, or he asked, if we can land a man on the moon, why can't we solve the problems of the ghetto? The problems of the ghetto are difficult to define and readily give way to scientific or technological applications. How can we provide decent and affordable health care? How can high school graduation rates be improved? Addressing these issues is infinitely more complex. That's the same with the technology. The problems are just so complex that simply developing more technology isn't going to solve the problems. It just might delay them. That's what I have. Thank you, everyone.